Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen from all over the world. I am Wole coming to you live on this program, um, the advancement or the development of Nigeria, basically through a unique principle of importing God's will to be done here on earth as it is done in heaven, especially in Africa. Last week we started a topic which we are going to suspend it a little bit and continue. We started a topic that love is the greatest encompassing secret of success. We started the topic that love is the greatest and encompassing secret of success. Now, today, we want to divert a little bit and talk about something else. Last week, a brother died. The brother is not up to 50 years, and we went to the place and I saw a lot of things happening, and that is just what I want to talk about today. So the topic for today will be what is should be Christian disposition towards burial. We will be addressing that. What should be Christian disposition towards burial, or what should Christian actually do? No, sorry. What kind of preaching should be preached in a Christian burial or in a burial ceremony? What kind of preaching should a pastor preach? I will address the preaching that, I have attended over 10 Christian burials, and I've had a lot of preachings, and we are going to address those preaching and then compare it with that of Jesus Christ or the one in the Bible. That is number one. Number two, what is your disposition at the moment of mourning a dead fellow? What should you be thinking about? What should you be assuming? What should you be, what should be going on in your mind? Because a lot of people don't even, including me, I don't even know what to be thinking. Some of us, should we cry? Should we laugh? Should we jump up? Should we sit down? Should we eat rice? Should we party? We don't even know. So now, according to Bible, we are going to explore this morning our disposition in burial. So it's in three ways now. Whether we are the one about to die, of course, don't be scared. Love is inevitable. We all are going to die. Love is inevitable. It's a nice thing that will happen to believers. And this morning we are going to be also addressing why should Christian be happy that my fellow person died. Now, the kind of happiness does not mean you are happy that I'm talking about what should be. Should we cry or should we laugh? Should we do this? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go and start. Death can come in any way, but this morning I will be focusing on tragic death. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to be focused on tragic death, accident, killing in armed robbery, kidnapping, all those kind of things. Because we live in Africa, this constitutes 30% of death. All this kind of nefarious activities, death. It constitutes over 30% of death in Africa. So if something is constituting 30 to 40% of death, I think we should talk about it. A lot of people claim that they want to die sleeping in their house or in the church or those kind of things. But this is not often the normal thing we see. Because of the problem in Nigeria, wrong government policy, inappropriate road, a lot of people die tragic death. A lot of people die the kind of die that they don't expect. So this morning we are going to be exploring basically if a Christian died through that die, or what should a Christian do when we see that kind of death. All those things is going to be addressed just in this video, but it's going to be brief also. Number one, to start with, let's go. Where should we start from? Let's start from what to do after attending a burial ceremony. If you hear that somebody died, or after attending the burial ceremony, what should you be thinking of? Number one, you that is left should be thinking of one thing. Number one, am I in the center of God's purpose in my life? You see, am I doing the will of God in my life? Am I serving God truly and faithfully? That is what you should be thinking of in the moment that you see somebody died, because you are the one in the next. You are the one in the next queue. We are the one. I am the one in the next queue to depart from this evil world, or from this evil world that we are trying to make it good anyway. The first thing is to check, am I in the will of God? Death, I believe so much in this word. Death is not the greatest tragedy, but a life that failed to fulfill the plan of God for his life. Death is not the worst thing, but if you are living and you are not in the center of God's plan for your life, that is the greatest evil, my brothers and sisters. In fact, death is supposed to be a thing of joy, because number one, we are going to reunite with our Father in heaven. We are going to heavenly places, far above principalities. Number two, we are departing this sinful war. Sufferness everywhere, here and there, running up and down, lying, killing, kidnapping. So the question is, what should be our disposition as at the moment that we see that somebody is about to die, or we are about to do that kind of thing? Number one, you search whether you are in the center of God's plan for your life, or you are making others to see God's plan for their life. You are making others to see God's plans for their life. Now, number two is, am I helping poor people? Am I helping poor people? That is another thing. Here we are continuing with what to start doing after attending a funeral, or at the moment that you are actually mourning somebody who is dead. Number one, we say search whether you are doing the will of God. If you are doing the will of God, you should be happy at any time that you will be called from this earth. Number two is for you to check, is some people are doing the will of God, but they are not actually helping people. It is one thing to be doing the will of God. For instance, the will of God in your life may be to be preaching. The will of God in your life may be to be a doctor. The will of God in your life could be to be a lawyer. But what is your contribution towards helping the marginalized people? That is number two. Number three, am I fulfilling the prayer, the powerful prayer pillars? Am I doing the powerful prayer pillars? What do I mean by that? I am simply talking about, am I fulfilling what God prayed? God said, may your will be done on earth as it is done in heaven. May your will be done on earth as it is done in heaven. So am I making the will of God to be done here on earth as it is done in heaven? That is the next thing that you should ask yourself. Now, let's go back to what I was talking about. Am I helping the poor? Helping the poor is one of the greatest things that could lead you and I to heaven. Helping the poor is one of the greatest things that could lead you and I to heaven. Number two, we are talking about, am I fulfilling the will of God? So the will of God actually talk about the heaven, earth should be like heaven. Am I participating in any activities that could reduce accidents in my community? Am I participating in any activities that could reduce the death rate in my community? Am I participating in anything that could hinder the growth and the success of any activities that could hinder the growth and the success of any activities that as fired by the kingdom of hellfire, as fired by the devil? Am I stopping the act of the devil? Will I say it is finished when I died? So those are the things that we should, come to talk of as at the moment that we are trying to understand whether we should cry, or whether we should laugh, or whether we should. Those are the things that should be ruminating in your mind whenever you see people died. Of course, you can add this: am I being righteous? But then Jesus Christ's righteousness, as Jesus Christ has come to redeem the world once and for all with his blood. Jesus Christ has come to redeem the world once and for all with his blood. Now let's go to, what do normal Christians say when there is death, especially the evil death? What should normal Christians say when there is death, especially the evil death? Let's go and see what will normal Christians say when there is death, especially the evil one. Normal Christians used to say, or pastor used to say, is he paying tithe? Is he paying tithe and offering? If he's not paying tithe and offering, no, things are spoiled. We are going to see what normal Christians say and what God will say, what Jesus Christ will say when you die. Another thing that people will say is, he worked for church for free. Some people will say that he has been working. In fact, before I leave that payment of tithe, before some church even go and bury you, before pastors even appear in the burial ceremony, people will need to, people will need to check whether you have been paying tithe. As in, these individuals called pastors, called leader of the church, will need to check whether you have been paying tithe and offering, which is not very good. What are they supposed to check? They are supposed to check what Jesus Christ said we should check, and we will get there later. What should we be checking, like the church or other people? Another thing is that he used to wash pastor clothes, he feed pastor children, he pay pastor children school fees. That is another thing that people say, that he's going to heaven because he used to wash pastor clothes, he used to play band in the church, he used to do things in the church. But we are still going to go and explore whether that is the truth. Another thing that people say is that, hey, he used to greet people, he used to humble. Now that one, there can be false humility in that one. What about if you have millions in your pocket that you are supposed to help poor people, but you go and be greeting those with mama when your 50 naira can solve their paracetamol problem, when your 100 naira? But Christian, nothing concerns us down. We just want to hear, used to be humble, he used to pay respect. So these are misconceptions that we are talking about that is currently happening in church today. Another thing that we could say is, he washed toilet in the church. He used to sweep church. He used to wash toilet in the church. Oh, he served God very well. These are not the real perimeters to measure real service. And we are going to go and see the real perimeters to measure real service. The last thing that I have here is that they don't bury until you pay. All those kind of things. Of course, you have an idea. You have an idea of what I am talking about. You have an idea of what I'm talking about, that you have an idea of what I'm talking about, that when somebody died, these are misconceptions. Do you know what? It's so saddening that pastors can still be deceiving people. Even at burial ceremony, there can still be deception, there can still be wrong preaching. Now let's go. Let's not dwell on that very well. Let's go and see what is the real thing to preach. What is the real thing to preach? Matthew, our recurrent verse, Matthew chapter 4, chapter 25. What is the real thing to preach? Matthew chapter 25. Matthew chapter 25. Matthew chapter 25. From verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of the Father, and before them shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them from one another, as a shepherd divided the sheep from one another. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goat on the right hand. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, and come ye, be blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungry, and you gave me food. This is the real thing to be done, or to be preached, or to do whatever. Jesus Christ is saying, this is why you enter heaven. Jesus Christ is saying, this is why you will enter heaven. We have seen what Nigerian pastors will say, that he will enter heaven. Jesus Christ said that I will separate the goat from my right hand, and this thing from my left hand. And I will say to the sheep, because sheep always mean good thing in the distance. Goat always means stubbornness, not doing the will of God. Then I will say to the sheep, enter into my Father kingdom. That is life after death. Remember, it was appointed to every man to die once, and after death, judgment. It was appointed for every man to die just one. No one will die 2 times. And after death, judgment. So some people who claim that they have died, they wake up again. All those things may not really be true. The Holy Bible said it's appointed for man to die just once. Not 2 times, oh. But after the judgment. But that is not what we are talking about this morning. What we are talking about is that what should we be thinking? Whether you that is dead, or whether we that are gathering there seeing, whether the person preaching, what should cycle around anybody dead, all those kind of things. We are going to see, before we go and see last word of people who make heaven, we are going to go to Bible and see people who actually make heaven. What was their last word before we marry to this? Let's go. He said, "For I was hungry and you gave me meat to eat." This is what Jesus Christ said, the one that said, "I hold the key of heaven and of hell." The one that holds the key. Like for instance, I have this key to this house. Nobody dare enter this house without me. I am the owner, or I am the one in charge. So nobody can enter. So Jesus that have the key said, this is how I would allow people to come inside. Because I was hungry. I was hungry and you give me food. I was thirsty and you give me drink. Let's go ahead and read it. I was hungry and you gave me meat. So whenever you see somebody hungry, what you should be thinking at the moment that somebody died is, anytime that I see somebody hungry, except I don't have, I will assist. Anytime that I see people hungry and you gave me meat, I was thirsty. Anytime that I see somebody thirsty, maybe thirsty of knowledge, maybe thirsty of water, maybe thirsty, maybe he needs something desperately, that is thirsty, I will serve, I will do it. Maybe you need money, maybe you need whatever, so long as it is within my power for me to be able to rest very well when I died, I will do what Jesus said. I was stranger and you took me in. Now, a lot of people cannot even accommodate people. As in today Christian now, you cannot even drink water in somebody's house self. Because this one is winch, that one is winch, this one will kill you, this one will kill you. Fear of who will kill you, fear of who will bury you, fear of who will do evil, fear of who will do that, has now dominates the heart of everybody. Such that nobody even know where to go and drink water again when you are a stranger. When you are a stranger, nobody even know where to go and drink water again. When I saw, and he said, or when we see you sick, or in prison and came to you, sick and in prison. All these things I have done over about 7 hours videos on it. Sick and prison, and that poor. I have taken each of these verses of Bible, each of these points of Jesus Christ telling us why we should enter heaven. I have done over 7 video each. Just refer to my channel. So he said that I was sick and you visit me. These are the things that will make you enter heaven. I was hungry and you gave me food. These are the things that will make you enter heaven. Now, as we begin to bring this teaching to conclusion, let's go ahead and see some people who actually make heaven, what they were thinking at the moment that they died, what they suggest that if I died, think. Let's go and see them in the Bible. Some people actually made heaven. Let's go and see what. So, like as I was saying, blessing of humanity is the greatest thing that will make you to make heaven. So Jesus Christ prayed one prayer, said, "Let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." May your will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. So developing community, developing society, not allowing accident that kill that first person to kill another person, not allowing anything that trying to stop, instead of you saying that, I am righteous, or they are not righteous, so that's why they have accidents. Me, I am good, or they are not good, or that is why their life is like that. Instead of saying that in any accident place, what we should be thinking as a born again child of God is, how can I stop that accident? How can I stop that gonorrhea that kill person? How can we ameliorate that HIV/AIDS disease? That is what we should be thinking of. Now, betterment of the society, so that sin, deviation from sin will be easy, is what we should be thinking about. betterment of the society, so that deviation of sin will be easy to achieve. Deviation of sin, trying to be righteous, will be easy. So development of society, for instance, it is noted that it is more easier for people in UK, US, all those kind of people to leave sin of lying for house rent, lying for this thing, lying for no food today, no my mother sent me to come and buy food for credit. It is more easier for a rich person to avoid those kind of sin than for a poor person to avoid. So how do we develop society? Now let's now go ahead now with that light in view, with this thing in mind. Let's now go ahead now and see what some people who actually made heaven say at the moment of death, or people say about them at the moment of death, and what we should be saying about them at the moment of death. The first man is David. Why did I know that David made heaven? David was a man after God's own heart. Despite everything that David did, David was, among everybody in the Bible, I think apart from Moses, David was the one that God himself said is a man after my heart. I love him. So we are assuming that recommendation made him make heaven, and we are very, very sure that David make heaven. Now let's now go and hear what Bible say about David. Acts chapter 13. It said David, after he served his own generation, by the will of God, fell asleep and was laid on his father's bosom. Look at the recommendation. David, after he has served his own generation, not after he has served the church, not after he has anything that you could think of. Don't let us go deep into it. After he has developed, after he has physically combat poverty, after he has led to transformation. This is David. This was the thing that out of a person was revering David dead. He said David, after he has served his own generation by the will of God. Remember, we're talking about will of God. Remember, we're saying that may your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And we say that the will of God on earth means that no more crying. So anywhere that somebody is crying, try to go and comfort the person or reduce the crying. Another will of God could be no more death. Anywhere that there is death, untimely death, go and reduce. Another will of God. In fact, maybe we should go ahead, but just go and look at Revelation chapter 21 verse 4. You will see all the will of God. No more tears, no more cry, no more sorrow, no more this. All was cycled around helping the poor. All was cycled around helping the needy. All was cycled around helping the marginalized people. Let's go again and see the recommendation of what they say about David. Acts chapter 13 from verse 36 to 39. David, after he has served his own generation by the will of God, fell asleep and was laid unto his father and saw no corruption. This is the real. We are talking about our disposition towards death. Whether before death, whether we are the one that is about to die, whether we are the one that witnessed the death, whether we are the one. What should we talk about? So from this statement, you will know that it is not according to age. If it was according to age, Jesus Christ would not have died at 33 years old. Jesus Christ would have been the most useless dead if it is according to age. We or any of us can go at any time. However, there is one prayer that we should be praying when we want to go. We should be praying this prayer that the Lord's right hand is lifted up. The Lord's right hand dwelleth valiantly. I shall not die, but do the will of my Father which is in heaven. That is what keeps people alive. I will never ever die, but do the will of my Father which is in heaven. Now let's go ahead and look at the next person. Genesis chapter 50 from verse 28. Somebody said another person wanted to die. Another person which we are sure that he made heaven, Joseph. We are all like 99% sure. We cannot be 100% sure, but we are 99% sure that he make heaven because of his righteousness, because of this, that. We are not going into that, but we are sure that he make heaven. Let's see his recommendation. This one is Joseph himself that talk. He said, then Joseph said to everyone, I die, but my God will surely visit you and bring you out of the land of captivity. Genesis chapter 50 verse 24. Joseph said, me, I am about to die, but my God, I desire one thing. Don't forget about death. Forget about I am about to die. Me too, nothing concerns me with death. I desire one thing. My God will visit you and bring you out of the land of captivity. I die, but don't forget about that. Just leave that one first. But my God will visit you, all of you, and bring you out of the land of Egypt. into the land flowing with milk and honey. So betterment of poor people's life is the greatest. Corroborating with what Jesus Christ say himself, that when you about to come, remember, I will only separate the sheep from the goat. Oh. The sheep will say that when I was hungry, the sheep are the one who feed me. So all this thing is still corroborating, showing that there is truth. Remember, within 3 scriptures, the truth is established. That's what Bible say. When there is 2 scripture, so focusing on stopping poverty, developing community, living a selfless service. And you know one thing, that love is the greatest commandment. Oh. So all these things still marries around. So where the Nigerian church, especially the Nigerian church, see the wickedness in the church, that now you cannot drink water from somebody, and now you cannot even do anything. Now if somebody died, we say that, oh, he knows that he will die, because yesterday he was going about sweeping the church. He was going about, nothing concerned them. We know that he will die, because yesterday he dashed one hold, mama, he bought clothes for, nothing concerned them with that one. They claim that is religion, but we know that the book of James chapter 1 verse 17 said, truth and undefiled religion is this, that we take care of the fatherless and do justice to the afflicted and the needy. True religion is to take care of the fatherless, the widows, and to do justice to those who are oppressed. That is in the book of James. Ladies and gentlemen, until we come out and begin to say this kind of thing, it's so scary that a lot of people may actually not make the heaven, that they are suffering here, serving their GO, serving their pastors, trying to make. Let's go ahead and see the next person. The next person I want to see is Jesus Christ himself. What was his last statement? Does his last statement correlate with what he's saying? Let's look at just 2 or 3. Jesus Christ said about 17, about even 10 things as his last statement. But let's just look at 2 or 3 of his statement when he was about to die. His number one of his statements is in Luke chapter 23, verse 34. Luke 23, 34. He said, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do for me. What kind of love is that? People are beating you. Father, forgive them. People are choking you knife. People, they give you 39 Roman stroke. That skin that they will wipe you. And when they draw you, the flesh come out. Yet Jesus Christ will say, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do for me. This was his last word as at the time that he wanted to die. This was his last word. So, but because he knows that God will look at sin before he bless you. Remember, we are still going back to I was poor. How are you helping the poor people? You know that if God see iniquity, if God does not forgive, God will never ever help those people who have been tormenting him. That's why I say, Father, clean this sin so that these people will not suffer. Clean this sin so that this land will not be cursed. Clean this sin so that there will be development. Let's go to the second of his word. He said something in Genesis, in John chapter 26, in John chapter 19, verse 26-27. He said something there. He said to his disciple, behold your mother, and his mother, behold your son. What could that word mean? That this was the last word of Jesus Christ. He said to his disciple, behold your mother. Now let's go ahead and begin to analyze that verse. Why could Jesus Christ look at his disciple when he was about to die? He looked at his disciple and said, behold your mother, and he was showing them Mary, his own mother. Mary, his own mother. And he told his disciple, behold your mother. As he was dying, he looked at his mother. Who will be giving this woman food? Who will be caring for this woman? Who will be taking this woman to hospital? Or anyhow, who will be helping this woman? And he told his disciple, please, the only thing that I beg of you, is behold your mother. Behold your mother. That is the only thing that I beg of you. And he told the mother, behold your sons. So what does he say? My disciple, anytime they're hungry, want to kill you, run to this woman. This woman know how to cook, or this woman used to cook. That could be, I am just assuming, I don't know the reason why Jesus Christ would tell his disciple that behold your mother. And he told the disciple that behold your mother. So why will he say that? That is in the book of John chapter 19 from verse 26 to 27. John chapter 19, you will see the story. He told this one, behold this. He told this one, behold this. So he was still thinking about how can you be caring for each other? How can love still exist? My death, forget about my death. Behold this person. You behold this person. Like I said earlier on, death is not the greatest tragedy, but a life that fails to fulfill what God sent him to do here on earth. Death is not the greatest strategy, but a life that does not do what God sent you or not. And what did God send us? We have said it times and again. Help the poor. Try to make life better for people. Try to ensure that people don't commit sin again by providing money for them that they're supposed to go and thief. A lot of things, but we will still get to there. Now, the last thing that I will say, remember I said we will take on later. He said, today you will be with me in paradise. Ble bako sato tata. Jesus Christ was in the cross and there was two thieves. First, you need to know that anyhow we died, whether they kill us through where we went to thief as a Christian, it does not matter that you are going to hellfire. Whether it does not really mean whether you died in a curse, maybe you died prematurely. Jesus Christ died prematurely. In fact, curse is anyone who hang on the tree. So don't forget about how anybody died, how anybody go. But then we are praying that we should go fine. We desire the best for ourselves. Now let's go back to the story. Jesus Christ was hung in between two thieves in a cross that is representing cross for thief, cross for curse, cross for everything. Now he was hung in between that two places. As he was hung there, he now a lot of people come and they were saying that, you son of David, remove yourself from the cross now. Hey, you call yourself the righteous man. Why don't you call angel to come and help you? The thief were mocking him. People looking at the Jesus Christ was mocking him. But the thief have said something. He said, for our sin we are being punished. But this man does not do anything. Anytime that you are trying to remove somebody from abuse, that people are abusing him, anytime that you are trying to remove somebody from molestation, you are doing the will of God. Remember what Jesus Christ did when they brought a woman that is caught from adultery. Jesus Christ looked at the guy and was thinking, how do I rescue this woman? The book of John chapter 8 or chapter 10. How do I rescue this woman from these people? How can I make sure that they don't stone this woman to death? They caught the woman in adultery. They brought the woman to Jesus Christ. Should we stone this woman to death or should we leave him? Jesus Christ said, anybody who is first, after I think, they think, how do I rescue this woman? These people are too wicked. They are going to kill this woman right here. Immediately I talk, because I am the king. I am the king here. Anytime that you have power, that power should be used to rescue somebody under poverty. They come to me because I am like the authority. So now, what should I do? My goal is to rescue this woman. What wisdom should I do? If I talk something else, I say this woman can stone me. What should I do? Okay, anybody who have not done something similar, anybody who have not done something, let him be the first. And they all left. And the woman began to say, I will not do this. They said, go and see no more. From today, go and see no more. You are not condemned. Go and repent your way and sin no more. You watching me, go and repent your way and sin no more in Jesus' name. Now let's go back. He said, that he said that for our own sin we are punished. But this man here does not commit any sin. And he make mention of something. For remember me when you get to the kingdom. Then a whole thief, for you to be hanged in the cross, you must have killed people. Your own thief is not just thief of go and carry something and run away. For you to hang in the cross in the time of Jew, in the time of Jesus Christ, you must have killed people. Now, that kind of person who commit that kind of horrible sin, meet with Jesus Christ that same day in paradise. But remember, we are talking about our disposition when we see death. So, despite you trying to die, or despite somebody who is trying to die, your disposition should be, how do I save people? How do I ensure that people get to paradise? How do I ensure that people ascend to heaven? How do I ensure that everything goes well? That should be your disposition whenever you see somebody. So this man actually made heaven as at that point in time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are going to stop this preaching for today. This is where we are going to stop this teaching for today. I love you so much. This is what you should do. Whether before somebody died, after somebody died, I have given a comprehensive package. So today, I have settled this course. Because me too, I have a daughter in this life. So when I die, what should the daughter be thinking? I have provided what the daughter should be thinking. Am I helping people? My father served generation, then he went to sleep. my father go about helping boy then he went to sleep. Well, I remain Oyekan Oluwole Basi. Bye for now. I am out. Catch you later.